Good evening. Today we are diving into the world of evidence based practice. Our our goal is to uncover how evidence can guide informed decision making and improve the effectiveness of our training and development programs. Let's get started. Why evidence matters. Let's begin with a simple question. Why do we need evidence? Without evidence, many decisions are based on intuition or assumptions, which can lead to costly mistakes or ineffective outcomes. Evidence based practice helps us to avoid these pitfalls. Here are two reasons why EBP matters. Avoiding mistakes by relying on data. We can prevent trial and error decisions that waste time and resources. Improving learning. EBP ensures that our training is guided by the reliable research, leading to better learner outcomes and organizational results. Engagement. Think about a time when a decision was made without evidence. What was the outcome? Now imagine if it had been informed by research, how could the results have been different? Transition. Next, let's look at the pillars that support EBP. The pillars of evidence based practice. EBP stands on three main pillars that work together to ensure effective decisions. Best available evidence. This includes peer reviewed studies, research data, and reliable sources. Expertise. Your professional judgment and experience help interpret and apply the evidence appropriately. Learner needs and goals. Tailor evidence and strategies to fit the unique needs of your audience and organizational objectives. For example, like imagine you're deciding between two training programs for your team. Pillar 1 involves reviewing studies on the effectiveness of each, and Pillar 2 brings in your experience with that has worked in the past. And Pillar 3 ensures the program aligns with your team's specific needs. So, here the transition. Now, let's dive deeper into the research methods that generate the evidence. Research approaches. To understand EBP, it's important to know how the evidence is generated. There are three main research approaches. Experimental. This is the gold standard. Control studies, like comparing test and control groups, reveal whether an intervention works. So, observational. This involves analyzing the real world data to identify patterns or trends. For instance, observing how learners interact with a new training tool. Synthetic. This approach combines data from multiple studies to draw comprehensive conclusions. It's like pooling reviews before purchasing a product, right? An interactive example. Let's say you're introducing gamification in a training program. An experimental study might compare performance is gamified versus traditional programs. Observational research could analyze user engagement trends, and synthetic research might summarize findings from multiple gamification studies. Which approach would you trust most for your decision? And transitions. Once we have the data, how do we make sense of it? Making sense of data, interpreting results. Two key metrics helps us interpret research findings. Effective size. This tells us how strong an intervention's impact is. A value of zero point 0.5 or higher means the impact is significant. P value. This represents the likelihood that the results happened by chance. A p value less than 0.05 is considered statistically significant. For example, imagine a study shows a new training techniques improves scores by 20% with an effect size of zero point 0.6 and a p-value of 0.03. This tells us the technique likely has a meaningful and reliable impact. So coming to engagement, have you ever encountered results where the numbers looked good but didn't feel convincing? This is why understanding effect sizes and p-values are matters. And coming to the transition, finally, let's see how to apply this in practice. Practical application, EBP in action. When applying EBP, considering three factors: their learner similarity. Are the research participants similar to your target audience? Uh, so, design quality. Is the research study uh, methodologically sound and credible? Boundary conditions. Do the findings apply to your specific context or setting? For example, let's say research shows that virtual simulations work well for the medical students. If your audience is a group of corporate salespeople, you need to consider learner similarity and boundary conditions before adopting the method. And that's it.